Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell?
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? I'm surprised to see you up reading so late. What have you got there?
Oh, it's a book about magic. I was hoping I'd reach the end of this chapter before I went to bed.
I'm impressed you can read all that tiny text without drifting off.
It's easy. Honestly, the subject is so interesting, it keeps me wide awake. Although I have to admit, the more I read this book, the more I realize just how much I still have to learn. I hate not knowing it all, so it pushes me to keep learning as much as I can so I can be a real expert.
So that's why you're studying by the campfire every night, huh? You've really changed, Rinwell.
Really? I don't feel like it.
Remember how you used to be when we first met in Calaglia?
Sure, but that's because I was still hiding a lot from you guys. Am I really all that different aside from that?
Definitely. It's the difference between a rock and the sun.
Are you saying I used to be like a rock? That's not something you should use to describe a girl, Alphen.
My bad. But the comparison is still apt. You used to not be open with us about your magic at all. And now look at you.
Well, I guess you may have a point. I used to hate studying magic because my parents made me do it. And after everything that happened, I felt like it brought nothing but trouble. But now, I don't think it's so bad after all. Maybe I really have changed more than I thought. All magic is simply astral energy combined with knowledge. It's neither good nor bad by itself. It all depends on how you use it. Saying it out loud, I guess I finally made peace with it.
I think you have Law to thank for that.
What? Why him?
I mean, he was kind of the one who...
Nope, he's got nothing to do with it. None. Zilch. Nada. Nothing.
If Law heard that, he'd be pretty bummed, you know.
You're crazy. I don't see why he would be.
Are you saying you rather he wouldn't be? I'd say the fact you can get so worked up about things now is another sign you've changed.
Sounds like someone wants me to put on a little magic show.
All right. I'll take my leave before I say anything else that might get me into trouble. Just make sure you aren't staying up too late, okay?
Ugh, I'm not a little kid anymore. Yeesh. Though actually, it felt kind of nice hearing that. I wonder why. Ooh. Hootle, let me know if you sense anything. want to go back to bed.
You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
Hey, what do you say we fight that shining enemy?
Hey, new equipment!
Hoo-hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo-hoo!
My word, this must be the work of Providence.
Prava what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Hey, Alfred, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy!
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him. pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Ow! Hey, Rinwell, tell me about your parents. What were they like?
They were kind. That's the part I like to remember. They could also be strict, though, especially when it came to magic. I never understood why I had to work so hard to learn magic. Why we couldn't just be done with it and live openly like everyone else. Needless to say, that didn't go over well. Of course, if I'd had known that one day I'd be doing this, I would have taken my studies more seriously. What about your parents?
Same deal. Run through the mill. Told constantly that training was the only way to survive in a world like this. It got bad enough that I ended up running away and siding with the Renans of all people. And now, I've got that training to thank for being alive.
I know how that feels.
The first time we met, you risked using your magic to stop me from kicking my dad's ass. You could have done anything else. You could have ignored it. So, why?
Yeah, I guess something about Zephyr reminded me of my own father.
You don't say. So, did your pops and mine look a lot like each other?
Not really. Not at all, in fact. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt a resemblance, I guess.
Wow. Well, I won't pretend I understand, but I'm glad. Your dad must have been a great guy.
He was.
Maybe it's the snow soaking up all the sound, but something about Cislodia always feels mysterious to me. Solemn, almost.
When it comes to solemnity, I'd say our own Octalina Palace is no slouch.
I won't argue with you there. Still, that azure tint of the shadows on the silvery white snow, it has a certain indescribable quality.
Indeed. It was boorish of me to even suggest such a comparison.
All I know is it's freaking cold. Still, more pleasant now that the locals aren't quite as frosty towards us.
Well, excuse me if I'm too frosty for your warm self.
Oh, come on! You know I didn't mean you. Besides, really, I'm the one who...
How about we stop getting hung up on the past for a change? Take what you've learned and put it to use in the future instead.
An unexamined past can be just as dangerous in its own right.
Better that than obsessing over it like a certain someone I know.
Kisara doesn't mince her words, does she?
I could say the same thing about one or two of the other women around here.
Tell me about it.
I think I'll refrain from commenting on this one.
Hootle, I've got some dried fish for you. You want some?
Forget that. Doesn't some tasty red meat sound better, boy?
Hey! Stop trying to coax him away with treats. Get your own adorable sidekick if you're so desperate for one.
He appears to enjoy being the center of attention.
Funny how things change. He and Rinwell used to be joined at the hip, or shoulder to talon.
It's not just Hootle who's become more trusting. Isn't that so, Rinwell?
They do say pets and their owners act alike. I suppose since we've been together, I've done my share of coming out of my own shell too.
Well then, I guess with you and Hootle, that makes us all one big, happy family.
Sometimes when I'm deep in thought, Hootle will come over and sit next to me. I only wish I could actually pet him.
Oh, you will someday. You won't believe how soft he is.
Wish I had that problem. I'm lucky if I can so much as look at old Featherbrain without him trying to claw me to ribbons.
Really? He seems tame enough around everyone else. Maybe it's just Hootle's way of establishing dominance?
That's dogs, not owls.
What's going on when Hootle pecks at you?
I don't know. Like when I'm talking to Rinwell, it's like he's trying to muscle me out or something. Unless... Wait, you don't suppose I make him jealous?
Come again?
Ow! Ah, get off of me, you insecure fluffball!
I rather think they make a good comedic pairing. What a wonderful treasure this is.
I think Hootle senses something.
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but you sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back.
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shion. But that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zeugle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zeugle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has.
You really think so?
Sure is good to be back in the pleasant climes of Menancia. Especially after the extremes of some of the other regions we visited.
Definitely. Your country is beautiful.
You do me an honor. However, this place was never mine to own.
I didn't mean it that way. Though, I guess technically you weren't born here either. Native or not, that doesn't change the feelings you had for the place. If I were you, I'd try to take a little pride in people's compliments.
Allow myself to feel pride, huh? That sounds like no easy task.
Nothing sounds easy when you overthink things the way you do. It must be exhausting.
He's always worrying about something. It's probably what gives him his eye for detail. That's just the way he is.
Yeah, so we'd noticed.
Let's change the subject, shall we? It's a wonder so many things coincided to bring us here. Alphen's awakening, Shion's decision to revolt, the Danon uprising in Calaglia, the crown contest's final, sputtering throws.
Zephyr's being in the right place at the right time, the fact that you happened to be a lord just as this was all going on.
It's almost as if we were brought together by design. By someone who wanted to bring down the system.
No, enough Hand of Destiny talk. We did this on our own steam. It's our responsibility to see it through.
Did Law just utter a pearl of wisdom?
I do think about things, you know. Just what do you take me for exactly?
Honestly, I always sort of pegged you as a likable dolt.
What the hell makes me a dolt, you dolt?
I mean, she did say he was a likable dolt, didn't she?
Let's refrain from poking this particular Zeugle any further. Some lessons just can't be taught.
Not to dolts, anyway.
Hey, Kisara, what's your secret for putting up with Dohalim? I don't know how you managed to deal with him.
Secret? Oh, I don't think it's as difficult as all that, really.
Could have had me fooled. Anyone who waxes lyrical on the aesthetic qualities of cactus thorns is a step too far for me.
And those poetic flourishes he sneaks into regular conversation? How am I supposed to react?
He likes the sound of his own voice, that's for sure. I say let him have his fun. No need to try and understand anything he says.
Has he always been like that?
He didn't seem as on edge all the time back in Menancia, though he was my superior back then. So who's to say what I didn't see?
The Lord of Cislodia hid in plain sight while a crony posing as him carried out all his business. What if the Lord we met in Vicent was really...
An imposter? Dohalim? Hardly. Like it or not, that's him all right. In all his flamboyant, circumloquacious glory.
I'd like to see someone try to impersonate that on a daily basis.
Come to think of it, what with being a lord and all, he's probably never had anyone to speak to on an equal basis.
It wouldn't surprise me. Having you guys around, having a family in a way, must be what's helped him change.
A little heads up on some of his eccentricities would have been nice.
It's those eccentricities that make him who he is.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
I see you've got your relics all lined up again. What are you doing? Huh? They're so bright now.
Oh, it's you two. I was merely tending to my collection.
Don't you think you've polished them enough by now?
You take better care of your relics than you do yourself.
I try to take good care of them. However, no matter how much work I put in, it refused to respond.
I thought you could hear their voices somehow.
I can, but that's all I can do with them. I can't actually engage in conversation with them. Not yet.
What are they saying? Did they really want you to polish them that much?
You're right. I was so enraptured with them, I may have selfishly failed to consider their own wishes. I must open my mind and sincerely engage with them in earnest.
He never gets tired of his relics, does he?
Nope. It is interesting to look at them when they're all lined up together like this, though. Like how these two have similar designs. It makes me wonder if they were made in the same period.
An excellent observation. Yes, I too suspect they're somehow intimately related as well.
I don't see what you two are talking about at all.
What's this? Why, that smear wasn't there previously. Could it be responding to my voice at long last? It's rather viscous and has a distinct aroma to it.
Ugh, Hootle! These relics are no place for you to do your business! Whew! I'm serious! These are priceless pieces of history!
Come on, Dohalim. Let's go wash your hands before you catch anything weird.
There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him. I never thought about this until now, Alphen, but doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose? Oh?
Right.
I wonder what we'll find out there this time.
Well, most likely Zeugles, I would reckon.
I mean, other than them.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Everything okay there, big guy? You look kinda pissed.
I'll say. He looks like he wants to bite the head off something.
What's eating at you? Come on, Alphen. You're gonna bring us all down if you keep that ferocious scowl on.
Oh, sorry. Do I really look that ticked off?
Yeah, it kinda makes you hard to talk to. So, what's bothering you?
It's a pebble.
A pebble?
Snuck its way into the back of my boot. I can't seem to get rid of it.
Oh, I totally get you. Weird how much it can get on your nerves, huh?
Yeah, it's barely bigger than a grain of sand. So how come it feels like I'm walking around on hot nails?
You know, maybe this is a crazy solution, but you could just take your boot off and give it a shake.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. You're right. Phew. It's like I've been given a new lease on life. Thanks for the tip, Shion.
Seemed kind of obvious, but you're welcome? That's the trouble with windy places. All that fine debris ends up getting into your hair and clothes.
Alphen, is it just me, or have you become extra sensitive ever since getting your sense of pain back?
Now that you mention it, the other night at camp, there was a fly buzzing around that annoyed him so much, he unsheathed the blazing sword.
So much for sensitive. That's just being a Mr. Cranky Pants.
Nothing new on that front, then.
What's the matter, Alphen? You look a little tense.
It's nothing, really.
He wants to get angry, but knows that doing so would only prove our point. Hence the building frustration showing plainly on his face.
Would you stop analyzing things for 1 minute?
Point taken.
Hootle senses something.
Isn't that Almadria's?
So this is where her ship drifted.
Then the one who wrote the letter is...
Alive, but badly wounded. I doubt many of the others have survived.
Let's survey the area.
No choice. I'm not done!
Between heaven and
Dragon
earth.
form!
Look sharp!
Armor won't save you!
Yeah!
There!
Lunar arc!
If they rush
Dragon
you,
form!
we gotta cover
Come on!
A comfortable win.
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
This is such a beautiful... I love how much amazing food we get to eat, even when we're out on the road.
Me too. Especially compared to what I used to have when I was still a slave. This is paradise.
It's amazing what good food can do to keep your hopes up. Nagal used to say all the time that the power of food is subtle, yet profound.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? For whatever reason, I find I don't worry nearly as much when I've got a full stomach helping me out.
That's why you shouldn't be such a picky eater.
Huh?
She's right. You always leave food that you don't like on your plate when you're done.
Come on, what's the big deal?
Back in the day, I couldn't think about leaving any food. It was such a waste not to eat at all. You needed every last scrap of energy.
Exactly. Even when my brother and I didn't have much to eat, we all did what we could to make it taste good and enjoy what we had.
That definitely explains a lot about why you cook the way you do, Kisara.
Dohalim, I bet you don't know what any of that's like. You must be used to food being handed to you on a silver platter.
Sometimes it was gold.
You didn't shy away from that at all.
Although, there was one experience that does come to mind.
Oh?
When I first learned that the food I ate originally came from animals and fish, I was rather taken aback.
You just ate whatever was in front of you without even thinking about it?
That's a silver-spooned elite for you.
Your cooking has really improved, Shion.
It's because of you that I understand what makes it so fun. I'm glad everyone seems to enjoy what I make too.
I've noticed a disturbing trend that after it's your turn to cook, our ingredients tend to run really low. What's up with that?
That is a good point, Law. There's a weird difference between the amount of ingredients she prepares and how much food actually gets served. Curious. Very curious indeed.
I don't know. Isn't it pretty normal for veggies to shrink a little when you fry them up?
Or maybe she eats all the bad batches herself so we won't notice.
Come on, I wouldn't do anything like that.
Then how would you explain the difference?
Ahem. I have a theory that I wish to propose.
What is it?
As we all know, Shion here can have quite the appetite. I imagine she often taste tests her own food as she prepares it. By my eye, it would appear that her footprints are leaving deeper impressions as of late. Far be it from me to level such an accusation, but the facts lead me to conclude that...
She's been snacking while she cooks.
And yet, she still looks so slender in her clothing.
Yeah, I'm kind of envious, actually.
Wait a sec, are you guys trying to say she's...
I'm what?
Nothing?
Nothing.
Hey, Alphen, why do you like spicy food so much anyway?
You know, I haven't thought about that before. Maybe because when I couldn't feel pain, it gave me that kick I was craving.
But now that you can feel pain again, wouldn't your tastes have changed?
Did you like spicy food when you were younger?
Not as much as I do now. At some point, it just became something almost like an addiction, I guess.
I can most certainly relate. Once you've had your fill of ordinary food, you cannot help but seek out more unusual fare.
I don't think that's got anything to do with Alphen's tastes. Although I won't deny that you definitely have a thing for exotic food. The stranger the better.
I just wish I could have gotten you into sweets like me, Alphen.
I like food that's dense and keeps you feeling full myself. It helps you last longer when you're on the move.
We all know you're a quantity over quality kind of.
What was that?
Nothing. I lost my train of thought.
You know, I've also noticed Shion's not really into the same kind of food most Renans are. Could be it's got something to do with the way she grew up.
That's so me. Even when I was little, I was all about food that gives me strength. All meat, all the time.
And I guess Kisara is so good at cooking fish because she can catch them herself.
I'm only good with fish because it used to be the easiest thing to get. When you work with something long enough, it comes naturally to you.
I like fish just fine, but what I really like about your cooking is how it tastes homemade. It reminds me of what my mom used to make.
Really? You know, I used to cook a lot of meals for younger kids, and they said the same thing.
When you get down to it, I guess the things a person cooks and the foods they like say a lot about the way they've lived. Mind if I join you, Law?
So, how's it been going?
How's what been going?
Come on, man. You know what I mean. How have things been with you and Shion?
I had a feeling it was about that. Well, what about things on your end?
No, we're not talking about me. I'd rather hear about you.
I don't really have anything to share on that front.
Don't be like that. You think I can't tell something's been going on?
Look, I'm not the type to go blabbing about that kind of stuff.
Give me a break. Don't keep secrets from me just because you're a little old.
I'm not that old.
I don't know, man. Lately it seems like you start wheezing as soon as we get into a fight.
That's some pretty big talk. You really want to try your luck with me? What were we talking about before?
It was... well, it doesn't really matter now.
What's wrong? Did I hit your head too hard?
No, man, you don't get it. You're really something, Alphen.
What do you mean?
Just you. How you always indulge me and help me work through my jumbled thoughts.
Do I?
Yeah, I always feel better after being with you. Even duking it out just now helped.
There you go again, making me out to be better than I really am.
I'm not making you out to be anything. You can't stop me from admiring you, Alphen.
You've got strange taste then.
I'm fine with that. I hope someday I can be there to lift you up, too.
I don't plan on getting quite that old anytime soon.
We should go again sometime.
We should. I look forward to it.
Let's make sure to kick ass tomorrow, too. Time to make you all proud out there, just like I always do. In a bind?
Struck!
How about this? Hurricane
Be
strike!
still!
Here I go.
Rising
Are those
rocket!
arms even natural?
Take this! There!
Make it rain!
Struck still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alvin!
It's
Do
time
it!
to end this battle! In an instant! Impact clock!
Looks like it could be worth something.
Guess I misread the landing.
It's you.
Lord Dohalim?
I figured I'd find you here, Kelzelik.
You knew he'd be here?
The handwriting on the note was all too familiar to me.
Did you come all the way out here to mock me, or have you changed your mind about putting me to death?
What if I had?
You have no right. You who abandoned your lordly duties and chose to fraternize with embeddeds of all people! And for what? How could someone as powerful as yourself turn your back upon the crown contest?
Not this again.
I ran from this once, but I must face it now. The crown contest was never for me. I apologize for dragging you along, but I do not regret my choice in the slightest. Listen to me, Kelzelik. People change. They can change given time, and regardless of their race. I know you're a capable man. You could do so much for others if you were so inclined.
Me? Impossible. It's too late for me. Death. Death closes in on me wherever I go.
What?
That's Almadrius.
Is she alive too?
It's death!
Has this thing become even more ruthless?
There's nothing more fearsome than a wounded beast.
Especially without its master.
Well, I'm not leaving it to its own devices.
The earth.
You picked the wrong
And
fight!
just like that, I'm back in.
Start by holding the front line.
No sooner said than done.
Not ever!
Far enough!
I'm not done!
Air healing circle!
Take this!
Blood second! Who's carrying?
Dragon form!
Together.
Smash you!
You have to hold on.
Back into the
Destruction!
fray.
Move it!
By the power of
Dragon form!
Glacial fire! Hurricane strike!
Explosive ring!
By the power of water! I still got some fight left in me.
Aw, too shy.
Is this it?
Here, let me help. Lion Cowl!
Healing circle!
Time to die.
Disasters made one.
Take this! I'm not done! You're finished! Let's try harder! I'm not done!
Alright, let me at it.
Dragon swarm!
Shattering the pieces!
Attack! Hurricane strike! Resuscitation!
No.
Blizzard blast!
Can't end here!
Don't leave me!
I let my guard down.
Water! Megalet!
should do it! Here I come! Strike!
Lunar corruption!
Strike!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Here's a healing art.
Explosive ring!
Rolling Banshee of lightning. Divine savior.
Take this!
Searing flame.
Here, move!
By the power of flame. I don't even know the word defeat. This can't be happening.
You... Pay for that! Dragon
Lightning
Swarm!
orb. Photon flux. Malevolent. Blah blah blah. Magic. Freeze lancer.
Here I
Blah,
go.
blah, I'll bring you back from death. A chain between
too
heaven
much.
and earth.
Here I come!
I'll
Strike!
heal you all.
Rising
I'll be
Falcon!
saving this
Lightning Thrust!
Healing
Stardust!
Storm. Raging Cascade.
Rising
Hold on,
Falcon!
here aren't.
You're
Here I
finished.
come. I can do this all day. Blah blah blah. Magic. Lunar freeze lancer.
won't save you! Here I come! Burn!
Oh, now you're
Here I come! Try this! Explosive ring!
There are corrupted. Come on, roll now. Going in.
No further! I'm not done!
That'll bring you down. It's weakened.
You're mine! This ends now! My weary companion! Try this!
Shattering
Explosive ring!
Now you see what I can do!
Is this it? Forgive me. Not done yet! Here I come!
Here's a healing.
No escape! Dust to dust! Rising Falcon!
Here goes.
Strike!
What's in the week? Not on my watch.
Radiant light!
Annihilation.
Regeneration!
What's this? Sorry to trouble you.
You're mine!
Roll now.
It's on! You picked the wrong fight!
I'll face you.
Dragon Swarm!
You with a shot.
Try this!
Nothing gets by me. Well, then tell me
Explosive ring! No further!
I couldn't make it in.
I'm not done yet! I owe you one!
Armor won't save you.
Here, let me help.
Does it hurt?
This can't be happening.
Take this! No escape! Dragon Swarm! I can't move! I'm gonna need more than that. Dragon Swarm!
It's in your hands now.
Here goes. Don't mind if I do. Back in forward. Annihilate.
Dragon Swarm! First strike! It's on!
Bring you back from death's abyss.
Explosive ring! Burn in hell! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down.
Strike! Void blast!
Blow away.
Rising Falcon!
I can carve through armor.
Strike! Dragon Swarm!
I don't even know the. Don't give up. By the power.
First strike! Now! You're mine!
Radiant
Vacuum blade!
of regeneration.
Dragon Swarm! Okay. From beyond. Strike!
They must be tired of killing me. I'm merely doing what I can to help. Glad you're on us, Stormy.
I never miss.
I'm not done yet! It's time! You're mine!
I'll heal you all.
Try this!
I'm on a roll now. I'll face you.
Explosive ring!
I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough on our plates.
I'm not done!
Yes, ma'am.
Lightning Thrust! Void
Bring you
blast!
back from death's abyss.
Rising Falcon! You're mine!
I won't give up.
You!
Not done yet.
Stay away from my friends!
A new leaf on
You're
life.
mine! Swallow dance!
I won't give up.
Escape! You're finished! Eagle! Watch! Lightning Thrust! Rising Falcon!
Ready to go!
Time for one more! Dragon Form!
I'll bring you back from death to
Try
this!
this! Explosive ring!
Resuscitation! I'm just pieces! There! I'm over! Annihilation! Into the shadows!
From beyond, take this!
Radiance pierce! You're mine! Radiance pierce!
Not done yet!
Radiance pierce!
Dragon Form! Try this!
Radiance
Explosive
pierce!
ring!
I'm out of ammo!
Stay away from my friends!
I'm all stocked up!
We may be strong,
In your hands.
but I'll
Radiant
never back
pierce!
down!
Radiance
Demon
pierce!
Fang! Demon Fang!
What the?
No! Can't end here!
Has this thing become even more ruthless?
There's nothing more fearsome than a wounded beast.
Especially without its master.
Well, I'm not leaving it to its own devices.
Go! Radiance pierce! Inferno crossing! Go for the weak point! Radiance pierce! Into the shadows!
Grant me the strength to march.
Toxicity!
Shield from calamity. Barrier.
Glacier! I'm out of ammo!
Heal my weary companion.
Radiant
How art being interrupted.
pierce!
Ignite!
Gravitas field! Aqueous impact!
Nice work!
Toxicity! Glacier! Elimination dark! Aqueous impact!
No further.
A wailing banshee of lightning! Maybe show Kisara a little kindness, huh?
She is strong. She can handle it.
You can be really dense, Helene.
Heal my weary companion.
And again!
Another incantation ruined.
You're open! And a radiant pierce! I'm not like magic! Got it! Radiant? Now's our chance!
Take this.
Dragon Form!
Aqueous impact! There you go!
This
Don't
one's
let up!
mine!
Hey, one at a time! Air thrust! Gravitas field!
I owe you one!
Radiant
Demon
pierce!
Fang! Rising Wyvern!
Radiant
Light
flash!
Spear! Mirage!
Toxicity! Glacier! I'm all stocked up! Thank you for the healing, Gavin.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive.
Right. No one is dying on our watch. Radiant flash!
I'll face you.
Toxicity! Glacier! Crush all! Aqueous impact! Radiant pierce!
It looks like you got this one covered.
I'm out of ammo! Radiant flash! We've got energy! Raging cascade!
Force of regeneration.
Demon Fang! You'll pay for that!
Magic is there! I'll bring you back from death to this! I won't give up! Here's a healing art! First aid! Here's a healing art!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with resuscitation.
Radiant pierce! Radiant pierce! Gale force! I'm ready!
Burn!
Into the shadows! Radiant pierce! Toxicity! Leave the charges to me! That'll bring you down! It's weakened!
Can't get out of this.
Now!
Into the shadows!
Win!
Supernova! Radiant pierce! Load ammo! Air thrust! Toxicity! Aqueous impact!
Not today!
Raging cascade! I'm all stuffed up! Field! Radiant pierce!
I'll smash you!
Denied! Radiant flash! Radiant pierce!
Shine.
You're radiant light! I hope this medicine works as promised. Radiant light!
Anything in armor.
Thank you, Zeugle.
I only did what any other would.
I think you're nicer than you let on.
That'll bring you down.
Demon Fang!
Take it. I'm only getting radiant light. Shooting star.
In a bind, vacuum blade!
Toxicity. Glaciers.
This one's all mine!
Aqueous impact. Now.
More! Heal! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I'm all stuffed up. Leave the target to me.
Ignite!
There. Radiant pierce.
Watch yourself.
Radiant pierce.
Incredible power. Heal my weary companion.
Aqueous impact. Radiant light in the wind. Pierce. Field. Saving this one.
Heal my weary companion.
I can't heal you forever. Toxicity. Can't be strong. Take here, go. I'm only getting started.
You into dust.
I hope this medicine works as promised.
Take it. Will this help?
Don't suffer in silence.
Healing circle.
Sorry.
You do the same for me.
I'm only getting started.
Dragon Pissed on!
Radiant pierce in me. Let the
Eat dirt!
monster handle this.
Wide open!
Radiant
Won't escape me.
I'm all stuffed up.
Captivity!
Toxicity. Glaciers. That'll bring you down.
Pins out! In a bind?
Now you see what I can do. Far enough. Into the shadows.
Demon!
Deity.
Swallow blade!
Radiant pierce. Radiant pierce. Counter field. Take it.
This one's mine!
There. Into the shadows.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Shine! Radiant light! Can't move!
Don't give up.
Let us take to the
Here
fray.
goes. Radiant pierce. I'm out of ammo.
Dawn shall break this night.
Chain between. I'm all stuffed up. Toxicity. Let the marksman handle this. A whirling struggle. Winds of heaven.
Radiant light.
Toxicity.
Regenerate! Swallow blade!
Glaciers. Crush all.
Blow away!
Thunder field.
Addiction light.
Raging cascade. Into the shadows. All
Blow
disaster.
away!
Come forth. Radiant pierce.
Not today!
Down through all.
In a bind?
Into the shadows.
Double sword!
Radiant pierce. I'll heal you all.
Demon Fang!
Healing circle.
Now I can let loose!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Resuscitation. I never fail.
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down. Resuscitation. I'll heal you all. Healing circle.
Burn!
What would I do without you? Toxicity. Glaciers. There. It's all on my watch. Radiant
Regenerate!
can't be
Is that a healing art?
I'll
It
heal
is.
you all.
I can't ignore the
Got him on the run!
Not try to be right here.
Air thrust.
Can't get out of this!
The whirling struggle. It's over.
Now I can let loose! Resonate with the
A new lease on life.
It's in your hands now.
The flame inside me! If you let free!
I'll bring you back from death with this.
Rising sun!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Resuscitation. Here, let me help. First aid.
This one's mine!
This'll come in handy. Toxicity.
Be still!
Here I go. I'm only
I'm
getting
right behind you!
bronze and red. Here.
Watch yourself.
Here.
That's incredible power.
Can't end here!
I couldn't make it in time.
Will this help? Winds of heaven. Healing circle. Get on in there with me.
Thanks for the healing.
Watch yourself, okay?
Yeah, you too.
First aid.
Tornado drive!
Thank you. I'm out of ammo. You get the deal. I'm all stuffed up.
Feel my lyric companion!
Annihilation! Ice Dragon Form! Radiant Pierce! Out of ammo!
Eagle Ray! Eat dirt!
Feeling struggle! Annihilation!
Double Demon
Back
Blade!
into the fray! Seal! Take it! It's over!
Armor won't save you! You're mine!
Into the shadow!
Eat dirt!
Radiant Flush!
I'm ready! All yours, Kisara!
There!
Would you come with us? We can take you someplace safe.
To where? Where could I possibly be safe from that?
What are you talking about? We already took care of the monster.
No! Death is immortal by its very nature. Even now it haunts me. It hounds me! The Silver Death curses me incessantly with its many faces, many voices! Don't follow me! Leave me be! Leave me alone! Ah!
What's happened to him?
Whatever it is, it seems we have read the situation wrong.
He spoke of a silver death. Do you think he could be referring to the people back in Vicent that he hollowed?
He did so at Almadria's urging. I'm sure that somewhere deep down, he felt guilt and remorse for what he did. It was easy to blame it all on Almadria while she was alive. But now that she's gone, he has no one left but himself to blame for his own misdeeds. He's alone with his guilt on this island.
But it sounds like he lacked the mental fortitude to endure it.
Makes sense. Sounds like just desserts to me.
Almadria's monsters had nothing to do with it then.
So he was a Renin, yet he regretted his part in the Danan's persecution. And now he's beyond help.
Should we really just wash our hands of him, though?
To be honest, it seems like he's punished himself far more than any punishment we could hope to mete out. Dohalim.
If I hadn't met all of you, No, even after that. If I hadn't accompanied you on this journey, it's entirely possible that might have been me.
But you did. You're here with us now. And you didn't stumble upon redemption, Dohalim. This is the path you chose for yourself.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle? With this, I can become even stronger.